I want to tell you guys, routine and dedication to your fitness is the key. Don't ever make an excuse, right? You got to go get it. Look at me, man. Drenched. I've got the missus out here. She's working. Got the puppy. She's working. So I obviously got to work. I ran hard this morning. I ran good. It's my cool down. I'm here to take your guys' questions. I know no one's probably awake on the West Coast. I know no one's probably awake on the East Coast. So I'm going to be talking to myself in this video, and that's okay. Last night for the MVPs, I did a deep dive on Oklahoma, made a prediction on their win total. If you guys aren't aware, Vegas has them at 7.5 wins for the regular season. They have a daunting schedule. They end with Alabama, LSU, I think maybe Ole Miss. Like, the thing is just loaded at the back end. So they got to get their wins in early, build their continuity, and we'll see if Vegas is right. I know one thing, I'll be right. I'm Rico Knows, I know my stuff. Shout out to anybody who believes in me, trusts me, supports me. I appreciate the support. You know, yesterday on TikTok, I had an individual write to me and tell me to get a job. And I decided to take that moment to educate that young man on what it is to be a retired combat veteran, not somebody who served 4 years or 8 years. And then, don't get me wrong, I appreciate those people. Thank you for your service. But if you did over 20 years and reach the pinnacle of your profession, I would hope you have some autonomy in what you can choose to do for the rest of your life. And that's what I've done. And I think people should be taking notes instead of hating. I'm trying to teach and help other content creators who reach out for it. A lot of guys do reach out on the DMs and ask for promotion or for me to go on their podcast and do an interview. I did one the other day for these gentlemen who average 40 downloads a podcast on Apple. You guys understand? 40? It's nothing. I don't care. I'm going to help them out. So shout out to them. I posted the interview on Twitter. And what I'll tell you guys is they had terrible audio. They had a lot of things they need to work on. But that's how you get better, is just crank out content, crank out interviews, just go over and over and over again until people build, traction and belief. Do you have trouble sleeping? Beverly, good to see you, girl. I haven't seen you in about a year. I don't know what trouble sleeping is. I believe sleep is just waiting for the next day to start. To be factual, scientifically, I have extreme sleep apnea. I think I have something like, how many interruptions in my sleep per hour? It might be like 69 or something. I don't remember the number. It's on my sleep study. So according to doctors, I can't sleep. I'll kill myself in my sleep. I'm supposed to use a mask and all that stuff. I do have the sleep apnea machine. I don't wear it to bed. It's a distracting apparatus. I sleep on my side. I'll break the seal on it, all kinds of stuff. But I know it helps me. I am a deep sleeper. When I sleep, I'm asleep. There's no waking me up. I need the TV on to go to sleep. I usually need lights on to go to sleep. I do not like total darkness. Anything I hear, it's tough. I sleep with a 9mm under my pillow. I usually have it within reach of me at all times. I wouldn't say I'm like those guys who pretend like they can't function and they're on high alert or anything. I just stay ready so I don't have to get ready. That's the way I can describe it. I don't have kids in the house, so I have things at my ready all the time. So I think like the only time somebody can get me is if I'm sleeping. So I try not to sleep. I typically work on content till midnight. That's my hard cutoff. Midnight. But then I'll lay in bed for another hour and, play a game on my phone, or watch a documentary. Um, and then Kim wakes up pretty early she likes to go driving, like Uber driving, just to kill time in the mornings. And sometimes she'll do it in the afternoons just to stay productive. She doesn't really have to do anything. But, when you're retired, you have all this free time on your hands. Like, we go run at a park every morning. We go hit trails. We go look at nature and stuff. But we're really just in stack mode right now. We're just stacking our wealth and our, trying to prepare for a transition in life here and trying to decide what we want to do. I'm thinking about living in an Airbnb for like the next, I don't know, for the football season. Just renting Airbnbs and traveling the country for a little bit, because I don't know if my house will be ready. I'll be building a house. And I don't think it'll be ready before the football season ends. And I'm not going to move during football season. So I might just be like nomadic. But I don't sleep much during all that. I don't like 8 hours of sleep. That's dumb. I'd say max 5 hours. And I don't ever feel like I need more sleep. Like, I never need a nap or anything. I never feel lethargic or tired. I feel ready to go. Remember, you're talking to a guy who used to work some insane hours, right? Being in the military, typically you work 9 to 5 essentially, or maybe 06, 05 to 5. You work about 12 hours a day. If you include the PT hours in the morning, then you get dressed and you go to work. Typically, close of business, you release all the soldiers at 1700, typically. But some units op tempo is different from others, and you can work later. But as a senior leader, platoon sergeant, first sergeant, master sergeant, master chief, all these different positions I held, I would work until 2000 every day. So you work till 8 p.m. every day, starting at 04. And so when you get home, like me, I was in school, so I would come home, take a shower, find something to eat, and then start doing my homework till 11, till midnight. And then I would go to sleep, wake up by 4, get to PT. I'd work out before the soldiers. So work out in the morning before they show up, go to formation, do my accountability stuff, make sure everybody's alive, and then I would leave, go shower, and get back to work again. So it's routine. It's what we call battle rhythm. I did it for 21 years. It's not difficult for me. I woke up this morning. I don't have an alarm clock. Let me tell you guys this. This will save your life. Not setting an alarm will save your life. You know that little jolt that you get when the alarm goes off and you think you're late? Like your heart races. You're like, oh, shit. And then you check the clock and you're like, okay, I got time. Maybe you hit snooze, lay back down, whatever it is. When you get that little jolt out of your life, I think you live longer. Like, I think that little jolt kills you just a little bit every single time. It's undue stress. You're putting it on yourself. So once you get rid of that stress of an alarm clock and you don't stress what time you wake up, what time you go to bed, you live life kind of free. Like weekends. Weekends feel so great because you don't have anything to do the next day, right? So I made it possible with 21 years of really hard work and grinding and committed to being great. I made it possible so I don't ever have to set an alarm clock anymore. And alleviating that stress is so amazing. It's right up there with having all your bills paid, having no debt. Those two feelings are very equivalent for me, and it makes my life better. Yep. I seriously believe the Army has something to do with it. Oh, yeah. No shit. Muscle memory is real. It just becomes part of your routine. I don't know if it's healthy. I don't know if it's healthy, but I'll tell you this. It's productive. If you ever wanted to see a machine that functions in the most unhealthy state, look at the military. People are mentally ill. People are depressed, riddled with anxiety, riddled with, adversity, and they're still going to work and being productive, and they're still getting the mission done, whatever the requirement is. It's remarkable. It's remarkable. It's to be commended, but when you start embracing working out before the sun comes up, not a single soul is at this park I'm at. And I know people get here at 7 a.m. to work out. Get your whole 5 mile run in before they ever show up. That's That's just like you take pride in it. So you can take pride in finishing the job, whatever it is, when no one's around, when no one's watching. You just take pride in that shit. You know, I studied yesterday for hours on end on something nobody cares about. That I take pride in that. But one day somebody might ask me, you know, who's the starting defensive lineman on Jacksonville State? And I'm going to tell you everything about them because I studied them. I think my gift is I can retain all the information I studied. That's weird. Sorry about that, y'all. It just started disconnecting. I'm checking my live right now. My timer's going. So sorry, y'all. Yeah, that's what the Army does. Yeah, after you're so used to doing PT every morning, it's a routine. Yeah, well, don't get that twisted, bro. I'm going to tell you guys, when I retired, I didn't work out. Well, for 2 years, I knew I was going to retire. And I'm not talking about mentally. I mean physically. Like, I went to work one day and just said, yo, I'm retiring. They're like, well, you're at 18 and a half years. You can't retire. I said, I know, but I'm not coming to work anymore. I don't want to work for you. I told this to the colonel, and they were like, yo, Top, don't do this. You got, because I had a seat at Sergeant Major's Academy. I'm number 5 on the OML, supposed to get promoted. They're like, don't do this, Top. You come back to work. Come on. And I'm like, nah, dude, I need to clear my head. I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm ready to go into civilian world. So I remember going to work, telling the colonel, I'm not going to work for you anymore. And that's like a career killer, but it wasn't for me because I felt like I already had finished my career. So telling them I don't want to work for them anymore was alleviating for me. Like, it was like a weight was lifted. And I realized that people at my organization had no authority over me. Like, they could threaten you with a bad report card, with a bad evaluation report. But what happens when you don't value that anymore? What happens when you are no longer self-driven? Typically, people of decision-making authority do not lose that drive. You keep striving for more responsibility, more rank, and you don't get complacent. And that's why you get promoted, and they don't put people in positions for them to reach the culmination point. Like, you never just sit there and go, yeah, I'm satisfied with what I've done. I'm out. Nobody does that. You work till your last day. Dudes are so busy they can't even get to their retirement appointments. They got responsibilities. They had a meeting to be at, a brief. Not me, dude. When I told the colonel I'm not working here anymore, he said to me, Rico, if you don't come to work tomorrow, I'm going to give you a relief for cause. I said, hey, man, do what you have to do. Do all the paperwork you have to do. But please know, I will not be at work tomorrow. And I sat at home. True story. Sat at home. Homie wrote the relief for cause. I said, cool. Send it to me. I'm not available to sign it. So they sent it to me in my email, and I stayed at home. I'll have you know, I still got my full paycheck. I still got my monthly check because those people can't impact my check. So I made just as much as anybody else going to work. And they said, Rico, if you don't come to work, we're going to QMP you. We're going to get you removed from the Army if you don't come to work. And I said, that's fine. Send me to the board. QMP me. So they wrote a letter to the promotion board, said, please flag him at HRC. Don't let him go to Sergeant's Major Academy. And we need to QMP this guy. So they go put me up for the QMP board, which means quality management program. They're going to say that I need to retire. They're going to send me home. I'm complacent in my MOS, whatever. The board convened, and I wrote them a 53-page rebuttal. Still have it in my safe today. Wrote them a 53-page rebuttal. I had all the time in the world. I was sitting at home. I wrote a 53-page rebuttal to the relief for cause eval. I wrote a 53-page rebuttal to whatever investigation they wanted to submit and whatever GOMAR that they were going to submit, the general officer memorandum, general officer reprimand, memorandum from whatever. Okay. So, memo. Dude, I know all this stuff. I'm just talking. So, I win. I win my appeal. I win it. And they couldn't QMP me. So now you have all your local leaders trying to write bad paper on you, D-Rod, and say you need to go home and you're out of here. And you literally beat them. They can't kick you out of the Army. They have to let you serve. It's crazy. Big Army said, hey, we're not sending him home. That dude's amazing. Because I have 21 years of service. Are they locked? Huh? You want to go? Are we done? So they said, hey, You got 21 years of service. You've been great. You can continue to serve. I said, thanks, man. So I keep getting my paychecks, not going to work. And I focus on TikTok. I focus on content creation while getting my full check, knowing I'm going to retire. Mentally, physically, emotionally, everything, I'm out. I'm checked out. They stopped talking to me. The unit stops talking to me altogether. They're like, man, just please submit your retirement paperwork, but we don't have anything to say to you. We have no authority over you. Can you just submit your paperwork? I said, I'll get around to it. I did not submit my paperwork for months because you can't force me to. It's a volunteer retirement request. On your 4187, it says voluntary retirement request. And I was not volunteering to retire. All the leaders left, all the change of command, everybody leaves. I'm still here. New commanders come in. Hey, who's that master sergeant on the books? Oh, that's Master Sergeant Rico. Leave him alone. He don't come to work. No, I want to talk to him. Dude calls me. I'm like, hey, bro, I don't know who you are, but you need to stop calling me. I'm your commander. All right, bro. Speak to somebody. Hung up on him. That's the way I carried myself for 2 years. And the reason for this, you might think, oh, what a shitbag. No. They ran me into the ground. They worked me to the bone. They got everything out of me. And then they said, if you want to be a sergeant major, you got to serve 4 more years. When you do a service remaining requirement or an SRR for 4 more years, that is like a death sentence to somebody who's reached their culmination point. That'll break you. That'll make you depressed. That's why people commit suicide. That's why everything goes wrong. So at that point, I'm like, no, these dudes don't give a shit about me. They just want to lock me in for more time. And they offered me a $100,000 bonus. All cyber professionals in 19 years, you get a $100,000 bonus to stay in for another 4. I was like, yo, that's $25,000 a year. For $100,000, just $25,000 a year extra. It's not worth it. It's not worth the stress. We're already making 6 figures. Like, why are you giving me? And after taxes, it's really. I talked to my buddy. It was $73,000 to his bank account. So after taxes, this is really nothing. It's like, I'm not doing this, right? So I can remember when I made the decision, I'm going to just stop, and I'm going to focus on content creation. And it wasn't until September, well, really it was April, but September when I really broke through last football season, and I saw my potential financially, and I said, okay, I can retire now. Now I'll quit. And once I put in my retirement paperwork, everybody was happy. The colonels, the leaders, everybody, and me too. So that's kind of how, sometimes it's not pretty, but you have to stand up for yourself, man. You have to say to yourself, I'm not doing this shit no more. You guys can't run me into the ground like this. So yeah, the Army will use you 100%. What is this NGA talking about? I'm talking about life, man. I'm talking about real stuff. I'm talking about successful people and what they do to become successful, right? You have to make decisions, and the decisions have to equate to success. And I would tell you that you have to fail a lot in your life to get where you're at. Like, I had to fail 100 times to get to this park right now. I had to fail 1,000,000 times to get this dog I have, my girlfriend, my YouTube channel, my TikTok. You're a product of your failures. That's what I'm talking about. My lazy ass hasn't slept in 3 days. Ooh, yikes. You focus on a grown man. The word. So you're a leech or just psychotic? Neither one. When you start thinking about combat veterans who've done 21 years of service and dedicated their entire adult life to the government or the requirements of this nation, calling me a leech is pretty insane. I have employees, so I'm a job creator. I feed a lot of people in this world. I have no debt. I'm the opposite of a leech. I don't have any money I owe anyone. I have enough income for the rest of my life. Like, I don't understand what do you equate to being a leech? You know, I don't think you guys understand what that is. I'm a mentor to a lot of people in this world. I provide for a lot of people, so I don't think I'm a leech. I think I'm a force multiplier. So there you go. English or Spanish? Both. I'm from America. My name is Rico. I'm of Mexican descent. I'm actually of Spanish descent if you get to the root of it. According to my DNA and my 23andMe, we come from Spain. But I was raised Mexican. All right, baby, you ready to go? Good job this morning. Way to fight. I ran good, huh? I was I was powered by that pizza from last night. All them carbs. Yeah, I had energy for days. I was so proud. I was looking at that clock like, yo, I'm really making time. You saw me just pushing, huh? That hill was my bitch today. We run up this hill. It's tough. Every lap is uphill on one half of the track here. Brutal. I dominated it. Would you like some money? No, I'm good, man. My dad died on 9/11. He was a very good guy. He was the best pilot in the region. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Um, damn, the haters are annoying. You handled them well. Thank you, Beverly. I appreciate you. I'm not worried about no haters. They need they they go through their life watching people like me succeed. You know what they do when I drive by? They go, "That's my car." That's what those haters do. They pretend like that. The next car that passes by is my car. Those are the games these guys play. They've never filled up a fridge in their life. They need to go to summer school. They're getting ready for summer school. That's why they're up early. They're going to summer school. Make sure you tuck your shirt in, bro. It's the key to success. Beverly is my auntie. Please ignore her. No, I like Beverly. Hey, mamas. My girl Ash is more successful. She eats better than some of y'all. I'm out.